The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Snapple. Want to know another Snapple fact? The first hot air balloon passengers were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. Ridiculous. Check out Snapple.com to find ridiculously flavored Snapple near you.
Welcome along to The Real Pod. Hello, we're back. We had a week off. Hope you guys are all doing okay. But we're back, and we're married at about 19th site now, aren't we?
So many marriages. I'm tired.
I'm so tired.
Of marriage?
I'm tired of marriage.
Tired of being alive.
Oh,
Is that beeping? Is that you?
That's you.
That's you, Alex.
me, sorry.
Introducing Alex Casey from The Spin-off, also Duncan Grieve from The Spin-off, and Jane Yee from just down the road. We are here to recap Married at First Sight Australia. We are loping towards the finish line.
Loping.
Loping?
Eloping?
Open.
Well, yeah, that's a good little pun thing there.
Yeah, well done.
Also,
Well done,
I was thinking of starting a show called Married at First Sight, but it's spelled SITE, like a website, and I'm not exactly sure of the whole point of
Oh,
it.
okay.
Tradies?
Here's what it is. You open... Oh, no, I was thinking website.
No.
You open your laptop.
I'm thinking website.
And it's like... Remember we had this idea for a series, Don't Steal It, copyright, registered trademark, spin-off 20... What year is it?
19.
No, 2019. Called Show Us Your Tabs.
Oh, yeah, great idea.
When you open, someone just has to show you their laptop at any given moment and talk you through the tabs. This is how Married at First Sight could work, though. If two of the tabs are the same, you have to get married.
Wow. That's quite intense.
Just constant. Google, you're married.
Do we have any tabs open that are the same? I mean, we've obviously got our combined doc open.
Got to get married.
We've got to get married.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joel.
Thanks to Nando's for this podcast, for believing in us when literally no one else would, despite us begging.
People were turning us away.
And then Nando's knew when they were onto a good thing, and here we all are together in a happy marriage, a happy cheesy bread, chickeny type marriage.
Yeah.
Peri chips.
Do you remember when we pretended to be sponsored by Lindauer and they were like sort of aggressively didn't
Yeah.
want anything to do with us?
I do remember. And then Colt Wine came to the party and saved
That
our
was cool.
saved our
that
bacon
was
for
a
a
great
while.
time. That was fancy for us.
Is it okay to talk about ex-sponsors in front of new sponsors?
Yeah, because Nando's is like, that's the whole, their whole
They're
thing
so
is
chill,
they're
eh?
so chill and lovely.
Yeah. Bless. Anyway, we are online, hashtag RealPod, facebook.com/TheRealPodPod, and we're on Instagram at TheRealPodPod.
How's the Instagram going?
Remember how about a month ago we were like, we're really going to get into Instagram. We posted 5 things and then never again.
It was hot engagement, though, for that.
It was.
That week.
We're just keeping you guessing. Yeah.
Maybe we should give the passwords over to the cornies.
So that's actually,
Do you know, I think they could probably guess it.
Oh, yeah.
what is it? Maybe just say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it. We'll end up with nudies on our, on our Instagram.
About time.
Just some Nando's news. I went to a Nando's meeting
Oh, yeah.
yesterday.
Hang on. You went to Nando's without us.
Yeah.
You
I
did
did
bring
feel
back
bad.
cheesy bread for the office and salad.
Loves the salad. They were doing a halloumi tasting, like a vertical tasting. There's new. I think there's going to be a new halloumi style coming in because they don't just sit still and be like, "Oh, we've got our supplier." They'll be like, "We're just always trying to raise the game."
What's a vertical tasting?
That's just something my uncle says about whiskey, and I just wantonly applied it to halloumi.
Hang on. Also, what style of what's a new halloumi style?
It's not a new halloumi style. It's a new halloumi supplier.
Oh, okay.
So just
you
constantly
get
trying to
to eat it?
improve. No, we came like 5 minutes too late. So I should have invited you, and I was like, well, yeah.
I've got an idea. They could do just like little chunks of halloumi, like a little basket of halloumi, because I would eat that shit just as an instant. But use cut out shapes of barsi. So it's like novelty halloumi.
Delish.
Novel me?
Novel Tilumi.
Novel to Lumi. It's very, very catchy.
Speaking of catchy,
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
Shit, mates. Maths NZ must be getting underway soon.
no, I think they wait until August and then they remember that they have to make it, and they make it in about 10 minutes.
Oh, of course, because they've got
Dancing with the
Yeah.
Stars.
Starts very soon.
Exciting.
I thought we were going to be out of content, but no.
No, never
We're sort of hoping, Could just have a nice old chat.
Okay, so because we didn't do a podcast last week, there's just a couple of highlights and lowlights from the week that I would just want to quickly cover so that we can get everyone up to speed, yeah?
Love it.
Okay, so last week we began with a commitment ceremony where everyone stayed, even though not everyone wanted to, but everyone stayed, okay? And then they had the bride's home stays. This was the return of Ivan the Terrible,
Oh, yeah.
who is...
Can you
horrible
explain
human.
that to me? Because I missed that because I was in a different country or something.
Ivan basically, so they had lunch or whatever with Sorel's family, and everyone in Sorel's family seems lovely except for Ivan, who's awful. And he essentially just pulled Nick aside and was like, "You're a shit.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
He's like, you should just go."
Pack your stuff and go. You're no good for her."
There's some weird, those kind of brothers who are like, no one's good enough for my sister, are quite yuck.
Really freaky.
It's pretty intense, but she kind of threw Nick under the bus a bit because she told the family about how he had touched Jess's leg at the dinner party. Because, I don't know, they were having a conversation about how things had been a bit tense the previous week or whatever, but she kind of didn't really say. He just was kicking her in the shin to check that she was all right. She didn't qualify that, so it sounded a bit like he was being creepy.
I'm surprised Ivan didn't kill him for that, to be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
has anyone seen Nick lately?
But especially given that Nick, based on Jess's very aggressive seduction tactics, seems to be the most straight up decent chap on the show. His hysterical laughter when she propositioned him was one of the highlights of the season for me.
He's also a great mimic. He did on his Toby Manhire style on his Instagram. He had all these masks and he did every single character on maths, and it was amazing.
I won't go near the Instagrams because I don't want spoilers.
I've seen everything.
Once you've seen Billy's calendar, you've seen literally everything. Cyrell ditched her wedding ring at the dinner party, and I think that was the nail in the coffin for Nick and Cyrell, wasn't it? It was sad times.
sad about
I'm
that.
so sad about it. My
I
heart
wanted them to work.
is broken. We're actually getting ahead of ourselves just a touch. Dan and Jess hooked up at the dinner party that week and had pash. That was their first pash.
Was that the first? We talked about that.
No, but we're going back. We're going back. I don't think we have talked about it.
No, they've been pashing sort of about once every 3 days for 2 weeks now.
Billy had a run-in with Susie's friends. Did he say up your friend?
Billy.
Did he say up your friend to them, or did he say fuck your friend?
I thought it was have your friend.
Oh, I thought he was up your friend,
Billy
He's
just
just-
botches it
I
every
know.
time. He has all the ammo he needs to deliver to so many
I
mic
know.
drops. And he just when he's you're not always going to look this good, my dear.
My
kind
dear.
of trembling.
and he cocked up the line as well. Oh, bless him.
That couple,
Anyway, all
And then
right.
he had to come back to get his fish oil or something that he left in the...
He's like, you're never going to see me again. Oh yeah, I've left my can of tuna in the fridge.
leave the can of tuna. That's fine.
Anyway, Jessica was really keen to have more hang time with Dan, so she rings him on the phone and talks about memories of the future, which is just a great line.
Fuzzy.
I mean, Dan is no smarty, but Jessica also no smarty, so I don't know.
Dan's when he's doing his pieces to camera justifying his behaviour, he's just such a wreck. There's been just so many shambolic humans in this season. I love it.
Ning answered the phone during almost sex.
Oh, yeah.
And that was, a problem. For a 10-minute phone call.
Shower and a bowl of cereal.
Bowl of cereal.
It's such a great touch.
Now, was it at the same time?
Same time as what? Oh, having
The shower and the cereal? Because I used to do that.
What, in the shower?
Yeah.
So dangerous.
Hell yeah. Save time.
What?
No, you know what it actually is? I think I read that like someone in Fallout Boy used to do it, and I like loved the idea of
Which
like
one?
doing something
If it was
kooky like
Patrick,
they
I'm
did.
all about it. If it was Pete Wentz,
Hold on, I'm sure
What
that's
about
it.
Rob?
But it's like weirdly like it makes it taste better.
No.
You do have to be careful. Tina knows. It's like a shower beer.
If you drink water in the shower,
Yeah.
it's like that's really nice. as
drinking
well.
water in the shower.
Yeah.
Okay. I brush my teeth in the shower. Does anyone else do that?
Oh,
I
yeah, of
used to do that
course.
as a time hack, but that's the only one I've done.
Do you wee in the shower?
No.
No.
Neither.
I did it once to find out. I did it once to find out about it.
Sure.
That's all.
It's just saving time and water, really.
Just do everything in the
Preventing
shower.
athlete's foot.
I get dressed in the shower,
Do my work.
blow dry my hair. Are you still Googling about Fallout Boy?
Yeah.
Okay. What else happened? Jess let Martha in on her dirty little secret about Dan. So now Martha's in the know, and also Michael's in the know, which is important for this week. This week's commitment ceremony, we said goodbye to Susie and Billy because they are a terrible, terrible match, and we also said goodbye to Nick and Cyrell, who are a perfect match in a weird universe, but Ivan the Terrible fucked it all up.
Ivan should be in
F word
prison.
3 times already.
That's crazy.
What's going on?
Billy and what's her name?
Susie.
Susie. I think when we look back upon our wasted lives, they will be two of the like kookiest, sort of make you question what you're up to with your life when you're watching them. Sort of, it feels like some sort of bottom that pairing.
Yeah. I can't even really get my head around them at all.
Every time they were on screen, I loved it. I loved Billy in particular. Like his just constant scrambling. But also you can see that he's like, he knows that he's right, but he's not quite sure. You know, it's like the gaslighting thing reversed big time.
I just don't think he knows how to articulate his arguments very well.
And the further he got into the hole, the harder it was to sort of scramble out. He has that kind of, he feels like a schoolboy
Yeah.
who's got all this kind of fidgety energy, but just could never quite put it all together. And then her face, that sort of dumbfounded look
Yeah.
that she, Jesus Christ.
Amazing. And the dad. Oh. Was the dad last week or was that the week before? We talked about the Hungarian dad.
Oh no,
And the red wine.
that was all he was all on Billy's side. He was like, him and Billy were great mates. When she
did not like that.
She stomped out at one point. He was sort of like, see?
Yeah.
See what I've been dealing with?
Oh, we've
He's
got
been
so
trying
much
to-
great dad action coming though. Ooh.
Okay, yes, we do. Some great dad action. Okay, also in the commitment ceremony this week, Jess decided she wanted to stay because she's having such a lovely time with Mick. They're having such a good time together.
The parade of like ludicrous excuses she's given for staying.
Because I want to be mates.
There's that
Because she
one.
wants them to meet the family
Yeah.
again for them to prove themselves that they're not
Well, that
fuckheads.
went lovely.
That was great.
It actually did go pretty lovely.
It was amazing.
Bizarrely.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this week it's get both sides of the families together / girls and boys night out week. Catchy. We'll start with Tamara and Dan. Boring.
Really boring.
I mean, you know, as a pair they're boring, but as individuals with other people, a lot more interesting. Tamara is very suspicious of Jess, hits her up at the girls' night. Jess denies everything. And oh no, that's Dan, but goes in somewhere else. Yeah.
And then
so
she
that's
threw,
good.
is that when she threw the curveball out? She's like, well, what about Ning?
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to don't blow all your doodackies all at once.
Sometimes
When Dan confessed to his raging boner for Jess, that was quite tense. I feel like they sort of almost underplayed that.
They
at the
definitely
boys' night.
Yeah. He got right up to confessing.
wasn't up to that yet.
Well, it says.
I know, I took it out. I'm just sorry. I
Sometimes
copy
you've just
pasted
gotta
like.
I've got a hard copy
Let the
here.
doodackies flow, Jane.
Okay, deck your dude.
Deck your dudes. And do your decks.
There you go, Duncan.
No, that's all I got. I
Yeah.
just that moment was.
Okay. It was. It was
quite a lot.
I mean, what did he say? He sort of tried to. He didn't want. I guess he knew it was going to come out at some point, so he didn't want to be sitting there going, "No, I don't find her attractive," because he knows that in a week or two he's going to be like revealing all. So he kind of has to give a little bit away. So he's saying, "Yeah, she's a hottie, and I find her attractive. If you know, But I certainly have not been calling her and texting her and pashing her at the pub. Thank you very much.
Just to be clear.
How good was Cam as well? Like, clearly fed the line. Or something. He's like,
So fed.
what do you think, mate? Any other?
Yeah.
And
any
flicks the
other-
signals of it.
Yeah.
I actually, Jules and Cam, they've been really boring up to this point. And now, because there's so much badness happening and so much like hostility and we've lost Nick and Cyrell, I'm kind of clinging.
Really? I
Jules
fast
and
forward
Cam.
them. If I see like a flash of red hair, I'm like, out it goes.
No.
Apart from that crazy crying.
The crying! They are wearing everyone's tension
Yeah.
like a heavy shroud of depression.
Yeah.
She's very sad from it all, has a really good cry. He's really sad from it. We don't know this until they have a chat to camera and just suddenly, out of fucking nowhere, he just bursts into tears. And it's intense, full-on, heaving,
Proper,
shouldered
yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
His face like crumbles. It was amazing.
I love
I've never
I don't
seen
think
a
I've ever seen
man
anything like
do
it.
that on the TV.
Oh, yeah, hang on. Fraser Lee?
Fraser
Not
Lee?
like that, though.
No, like that. This was his whole body.
Fraser was just sort of constantly weeping.
What about that guy in the meme who does that? That one. You know the one, hey? I'll show it to you after
No, I
Duncan.
don't know. It was amazing. I watched it so many times. I found a clip on Facebook. And then the way that she like instantly is like, oh honey,
Yeah.
like real
Oh,
motherly.
yeah. Oh, that's weird
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
though. Nah.
I thought it was very real.
It
though.
was very
like,
real.
so unguarded.
And then they had
crazy.
lunch with both sets of their parents, and it's lovely. And Cam's moving into her lovely heritage apartment. And it's
Can't
all
say.
nice.
Just fast forwarded it as soon as he stopped crying.
Such a fancy apartment.
Yeah, they're moving in together. And I know, like, the bulk of them, I've decided I was really looking out for the Airbnb signs. Whose I'm pretty sure is her legit apartment. I'll tell you how you know if a married at first sight couple are in an Airbnb where they're pretending it's their real home. There'll be like a utensil holder next to the stove, and it's all got matching utensils in it.
Yeah.
That is a dead giveaway that they're in an Airbnb.
Tell.
Yeah,
Classic.
either wooden or plastic, but all the same.
Briscoes.
Something weird about Jules and Cam. This past week, I don't know if you've been following them on Instagram.
Nope.
So Cam's been ringing every day, like ringing some radio station to win Taylor Swift tickets. Like he's been on hold, and so is Jules. And she said like he finally got through and he won them. And she was like, we've rung like 283 times or something. And I was like, aren't you two like some of the most famous people in Australia right now? Can't you just get a ticket?
Doesn't work like that, mate. Having
From a
worked,
person?
having worked at Taylor Swift's record label in New Zealand previously,
Oh.
when someone says that they're coming in concert, every man and his
Yeah.
fucking dog starts ringing up.
I've done that.
Yeah, and emailing and going,
yeah.
oh, my daughter's a really big fan. Oh, yeah, and then
but if it's
you don't
Jules
have
and
that
Cam.
many tickets.
But Jules
to it.
and Cam.
There are more famous people in Australia.
Absolutely. How dare you?
I think that's true.
Well, I don't know. Duncan's fast forwarding them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, it was humbling. It was humbling to see.
They're
that
just like you and I.
us.
Just sitting on the phone to the radio station. Hang on, why didn't they get a hookup through Heidi? She's a radio announcer, isn't she?
I feel like it's very provincial. I don't think she's like proper famous.
Okay.
It's my theory.
She is now. Okay, Mark and Ning. Okay, so lunch with friends was a bit orkies. He's still talking about the phone sex.
They just bang on about
yeah.
that all the
It's
time.
real tense that they always bring it up.
Well, I
right?
think
Like,
it's
no
even
one
with the
wants to know
family
that. The
and-
family doesn't want to know that.
It's the closest
I'm eating prango.
you are.
I got caught.
You got caught 'cause you were eating
Timestamp
them
that, Tina?
right in front of the microphone. No, they're talking about it all the time because it's they're like, I think he just wants everyone to know they're almost sexed. Like, I almost did it. We would have if she hadn't picked up the bloody phone.
Oh. And so, why did he need to eat the cereal?
How long do you reckon he sat there while she was on the phone just waiting?
He said 7 or 8 minutes total.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
really
a
long time.
But then she took the call for that long, you know? Nothing was ever going to happen that night.
No, but I
right?
mean, in her mind, she was like, "I've got an hour. I'm having this chat."
No,
and
but-
he's
She's probably just ringing like on the phone to Pizza Hut or something, pretending.
What
Or
were
trying to
they
get
up
Taylor
to?
Swift
Did they
tickets.
ever reveal?
What bit they were up to?
the-
Oh, because
the
she's got
base?
some sort of weird scale that she keeps trying to tell
The
everyone.
feels. She's
She's also
First
got a
basic
base
base,
scale.
the
yeah,
feels
that's right.
and-
Yeah, she's got her base
Yeah.
scale. We need Ning to. We should get Ning on to explain that.
We're not talking to nurse.
No. The cornies have spoken, and John Lemon was nearly the winner of the poll.
That will make absolutely no sense to anyone who's not in Real Pod Corner. Oh, by the way, Real Pod Corner, it's our Facebook group. You should go in there and be with us. That was weird, sorry. Anyway, okay, so Mark's mates don't reckon Ning's the one for him. I don't know if that's because she took the phone call or just...
They were, I thought, excessively harsh based on the materials that had been presented.
Let's not forget the last time they saw her was at the wedding
yeah.
when she was...
Yes.
But surely they could sense the motion in the relationship since then.
I think that you and I and Alex have come to know that Ning...
Like the pause before Alex?
Yeah.
Does she? I guess so. We'll just throw it in.
We've come to know kind of Ning's cutting wit, and she's very sarcastic, and we're probably desensitised to it a bit. So she was probably still doing some of that at the lunch, and they were just probably, putting that together with what they'd seen at the wedding, and it all spells nasty lady. But in reality, it's just like Ning being nervous and awkward.
It's sad to think that the couples that have really battled their way to sort of some kind of equilibrium, Mark and Ning and Cyril and
Nick. R.I.P.
Jesus, they do all have the same name. It's very difficult. Both look like they're going to go out the back door. It's a sadness.
I mean, I think there's only two couples walking out of this alive, isn't there?
Eminem
and Cam and Jules.
I don't believe Eminem sometimes.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe M. I believe M, but not M. So
But
make of that what you will.
I believed her at dinner last night, briefly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think
smooching?
I feel like there are sides to her that when he's watching the show back, he'll be like, "Huh, I didn't realise you were quite so in there, stirring stuff up
with all your things."
But also, she's just trying to have a good time. It's a bit boring. And Jess needs someone, and she's sort of culturally similar to Jess. I think it's fine.
I told him a lot about eyelashes. I was even surprised when there was that weird exchange where I think someone flagged in the corner where he was like, he learned to put lip liner on. He's like, and I've also learned to do eyelashes. And then someone else was like, the single ones or the full ones?
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, is this just something that everyone in Australia does?
What? Singles or fulls?
Jules and Cam are on this list twice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's one of them from last time. So just ignore that one, Duncan.
I was for it. Very progressive. Michael, the eyeliner, of course.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I want to talk about Michael for 20 minutes.
Michael.
Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Michael.
So we finished with Mark and Ning?
No.
Okay. Let's take this further.
Because Jess hits out at Ning during the girls' night.
Yeah.
When she's trying to deflect from everyone.
Well, and also when she's ready to go, they were going to consummate that evening. Was what seemed to be the plan.
The red dress.
Yeah, but Jess ruined it all by saying, "You don't even. Mark doesn't even like you. He's been.
He's talking to Mick about how to fuck bitches.
Yeah. So they're wild oats once they're out of the experiment.
Yeah.
I mean, look, one, that could have happened very early on when Ning and Mark were not ever going to be a thing. I don't think any of us predicted that Ning and Mark would still be here at this stage of the experiment.
Never.
It's nature's miracle.
And, it was probably said in jest, and I'm sure that Ning said some things that, if taken out of context, would sound pretty bad too. Or two, might not have been said at all. This is Jess we're talking about here.
You got your hand
Well,
up.
I did my research and I watched the smash hit show Talking Married last
Whoa.
night, which is crazy. Have you watched it?
No, is it good?
It is crazy. It is really good.
I'm competitive with it.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of like, who are these people? Where's Jane? But Mark came on. He's also growing a real full beard. That's first bit of breaking news. But he said that he reckons what happened when they were on their honeymoon, it was a real elaborate story. Someone at their resort, I think they were in Thailand, said to him and Mick, "We've loved having you guys here. You should come back once the filming's done and we'll have a big party for you." And then somehow that invitation and the idea of them returning, specifically it was Mark and Mick who were kind of approached by this person, then became this idea of the two of them going on this weird Thailand
The hangover.
sexcapade.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think was then how it got to Jess like that. I don't know. I was thankful for Talking Married to provide that insight.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of stuff doesn't get closure on the show itself. Very frustrating. But I still won't watch Talking Married.
No, I think it's
We Talk Marriage.
Yeah, that's what we do.
So you guys shouldn't watch it either. What? What even is it? Doesn't even exist. What?
It was cool. I wrote down there was a cool head. Like, they have like kind of like news. Like,
Hang on, are you still talking about Talking
I'm
Married?
still talking about
Okay.
Talking Married. There's just one more thing I want to say because I wrote it down because it made me laugh.
Are you just promoting? Okay, no.
Oh yeah, it was just like the ticker tape of like the headline of whatever they're talking about. It was just like no nookie from Ning, just like going along the thing. It's quite a funny show.
It's
like
good writing.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all.
Anyway, Ning's hurt by this information she hears about Mark. She's not sure whether or not it's true, but she's still hurt. And so she doesn't have the planned sex with him that night. Next day, she tells him about what she's heard, and he's upset. And so they go into the old dinner party a little bit glum. A wee bit glum. Michael and Martha tracking along fine. Martha's mum's sceptical about long distance, but Martha doesn't care because mum's got pink hair, so what would she know? Which is kind of fair, right?
That was nasty. I loved Mum's hair.
Mum's so young looking.
Yeah. Maybe she's secretly her... Oh, no, that doesn't work.
Her mum.
I was
Or
thinking...
sister?
Yeah, I was doing that whole kind of like...
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, I know
Sarah
what
Potts.
you're doing, but-
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Your brother's actually
Yeah.
Your dad.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Your mum's actually your
Doug.
your sister.
Doug's the pink cop.
Michael's in an uncomfy situation at the boys' night because Dan's getting grilled and he knows the truth. And he's sitting there watching Dan to see if it comes out, and Dan doesn't let it slip. He's got his best poker face on, and but yeah, so Michael knows.
I love Michael. I love that he's like, he basically had that breakthrough where he's like, I can express myself with my appearance and it's fine. And he wears that kind of loud shirt. I've always loved all his short sleeve shirts. I feel like some of them are Gucci. They're really aspirational for me. And he like he sort of changes his hairstyle. He's obviously had a cut so thick.
But Martha's claiming all of that.
I know, but I think she's enabling it, but it's always been in him, is my theory of it.
Yeah, she's given him the confidence to let it all out.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see like a dude kind of, yeah, this is what, so much of the time with marriage, you're like, shit, is this okay? And this is a bad side of humanity. And yes, we're learning about gaslighting. We're also watching a lot of gaslighting.
Yeah.
But I think...
that the saviour of this show is Michael wearing his hair out in a loud shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because basically...
Christ-like figure.
I think that men are kind of socialized into this quite narrow space. Like what?
poor men.
What?
Poor men.
I'm not. I'm just.
What about men?
Let me finish. I'm just saying that, like, I think some of the toxic shit that happens is because, and I think it's imposed on men by men, this like very narrow vision of how we can be. And I think on a show like this, to have Michael kind of, there was this moment, and he articulated it really well, this kind of freedom he felt to kind of play with his appearance and how he dressed in a way that is much more comfortable among, much more common among women than men. And even the fact that the men were like, oh, yeah, I hate your shirt. And it just didn't even touch him. And I was like, this is kind of progressive. This felt like a moment to me. And yes, you're right. Yeah, poor men. But these things do have meaning, I think.
Well, I'll tell you what else has meaning. Jess, it's very frowned upon in society generally to like hook up with someone else's husband. But she's just going out there and doing what she wants, She just wants to have a good time. Is
that feminism?
She's just really progressive and just letting it all go. Not worrying. She wants to tell lies, so she tells them. Good on her.
There's a part of me that's okay with it. It's so bad, right? But like when Martha explained it as like she came on here, she got this dud-ass husband, which was basically engineered by the TV.
Yeah.
She's really into this dude, and you're like, man, maybe it's not so bad.
That pep talk was particularly good, I thought.
Yeah,
that was
me.
when Martha was just like in the zone, and she's like, I'm older than you, and you need to listen to me.
Look, I think that is
like
kind of
2
fair when you
months.
take into account all of what you've just said, but there are other ways to go about it. Just be like, straight up from the beginning, we have this attraction. Because I don't understand this whole, well, I live in Western Australia. And
That's right, and there are no planes.
Just leave the show.
Yeah, just leave the show and just
walk
stay
away.
on for a few more days.
Dan has like $23 million under his belt from the Ponzi scheme.
Oh, fat
You'll be
of
fine.
Dan, darling eyes, always trying to scam someone.
She did say on Talking Married, my new favourite show, that she would have gone about it differently.
Yeah.
there.
I don't know if really that
Huge concession.
would they really have had the opportunity though? Would the producers really have let them just go, "Hey, we like each other, we're off the show now"? Like that wouldn't have happened.
They had to tease it out.
Of course.
The Innes and Sam vacuum was a big one to fill, and they gamely stepped
They've
into
done
it.
a really good job of filling that because I thought once Innes and Bronson left, there was a couple of weeks of like just tumbleweeds and then bam, straight back into it.
It was like only a week. Innes on social media.
Oh my God.
Discussed.
Also, she got charged with drunk driving. Did you see that?
yeah.
And she pulled up in a limousine to court. It was amazing. And there were so many paparazzi.
She got done for drunk driving. No, I just want to. I'm not sure I've got this story 100% straight, but I believe that
You
she
do.
smashed into her sister's car in the driveway because
On
she was
purpose.
pissed off with her
Yeah.
sister.
So cool.
She had champagne and vodka.
Yeah, and I think her defence was, well, she was being a bitch. So
Yeah. She's like, I was really pissed off.
yeah. Like, what do you
You're on
expect?
it.
Innes owning Sam and bandicooting that night is just unbelievably
Yeah, she's he's basically said like nothing really happened between them because they had their microphones on. She was like, I'm not going to say what she said because I'm far too much of a prude, but she said things about cunnilingus.
cool. Say that.
And one of them, she said 4 hours.
4 hours.
That makes me believe
yeah,
it's not
Sam.
true. That makes me believe that it's not true because that's a long time.
It's too long.
That's not. No one's enjoying that, quite frankly. And she said that he took the batteries out of the microphone. Now there are on-off switches on the microphone. That might have been just easier.
True.
Maybe they've got fancy microphones which are sort of always on or remotely accessible. That seems like the kind of thing they do.
Maybe, but at the same time, you assume someone's monitoring those microphones, and when the batteries come out, they're probably going, "Batteries are out."
Batteries are out.
Scones being buttered.
Oh my God! Oh no, it's not. It's
saying 4 hours.
it's cupcakes being iced with your nana on Christmas Day, isn't it?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Oh, man. She does have a way with words.
It does.
Well, we couldn't figure out. I think in the corner couldn't figure out if that was like a compliment or a compliment
I don't think it's a
or an insult.
Yeah.
She knows.
It was a nice callback to the cupcake, motif
I
of
don't
their
even think of
relationship.
it. Don't know why Nana had to get involved. Leave Nana out. of
No,
it.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. Eh?
Stick
Poor
to
old
your
Nana.
knitting.
Anyway, oh God.
Oh, dear.
Where are we? Oh, Mick and Jess. Oh, okay, Mick and Jess. So
Where is Mick Bean? When she's going around with Dan.
Well, they were staying in separate apartments,
He's
so
just
presumably
lying
he's
on
just
his bed.
booking his tickets to Thailand.
Yeah.
Mick's sister joins in with Jess's brother and dad for a lovely lunch. It's quite intense. Mick's very quick to come clean. Mick basically
Too clean.
He wants it to be a bad situation because he wants to give Jess absolutely no reason to
Does
stick
he want
around.
to be murdered? Like,
Yeah.
that was
Yes.
so
I was
scary.
worried.
Yeah, he does. I think that's like he's basically being held hostage. So if that's the only way out, I'm taking it.
Mick's the Wayne of the show, eh? I want those guys to
Yeah.
get together
Yeah. Oh, can
That
you
would be really
imagine?
good.
Can you imagine the chat?
down the viaduct.
They should make their own TV show, John
Holy
Ben style.
moly.
Can you imagine? Oh, Paul Gareth. Not Paul Gareth though.
He's fine. He's barbering.
That's true.
Gareth, maybe, and Mark could be? No, that doesn't really work.
Anyway, so Mick comes completely clean. Says I called you a fuckhead, and I called you a whatever
Quite
it was.
amazing.
Drink's a harsh one because that's basically your
Yeah.
debilitating
Yeah.
alcoholic.
And Dad-
based on one night's evidence.
Dad has some puffs, calls him a fuckwit or something, and goes out on the deck, has a couple of breathers, and then comes back in and it's like, first impressions. It's all good.
It's really weird.
It's so good.
And then
Was the
everyone's happy.
brother was there, right? The
Yeah.
scary brother. What was he up to?
Oh, look, he was just.
He was like playing Peacemaker.
Yeah,
So
he
hot.
was. He said the same thing about. I mean, I went on her Instagram, went back and saw some photos of him that were not so good. He just doesn't look as hot, but he looks good on the telly show. Anyway,
How did they leave the situation? I forgot. All I remember is the dad storming out onto the deck and being like, "You're a wanker."
I think they were fine. I think they're
wanker.
fine. I think they
Great
kind of just were
insult.
like,
So
yeah,
good.
look,
He
first
is a
impressions.
wanker as well,
Such a
based on what's that guy?
And I think he even said like,
Bronski scheme.
Sorry, Jane.
I don't know what I was saying.
How do they leave it? They
just
all
leave.
become friends?
They became friends. Yeah, swap numbers.
Mission
gonna hang
accomplished for
out.
Jess.
Yeah.
Unfurl the banner.
Then, of course, at the girls' night, the girls' night was so toxic. Hey, like the boys' night, they're all like high fiving. They're basically putting their hands in the window,
So
like,
many
"Oh,
jars of
boys!"
beer.
Yeah.
And then the girls' night is just a knife fight. Everyone challenges Jess about that comment about saying that she wanted to with Dan, and she just denies it. She denies it. She dances around it a bit at first, but then Tamara pulls her aside, straight out asks her, and she's just like, no, nothing going on. Nah, all
So
good."
many opportunities to come clean.
Yeah.
But it's like her and Dan think that if they do sort of like about 15% truth and 85% lie, that they'll get credit
Yes,
for
yeah.
that when they come up before the parole board or something.
Yes, exactly right.
And so it's like, I'll just like a little nod at what's going on. So, well, you either just go full lie, because Jess always has this pause where she just goes to a special place and then starts lying. And you're like, well, you might as well have just told the truth.
Because you've made it very obvious. Mike and Heidi babysit some kids, paint some nails. I hate on shows when they're like, oh, well, what I thought I'd do is we're going to look after my friends because I think he really wants to be a dad, and I think this will give me a really good idea of what kind of father he might be. No, it won't. I'm telling you that now. Kids, someone else's kids for 2 hours. Give me that any day.
But he did a treasure hunt.
Your own kids for the rest of your life. Control Z. No, very different experience.
Control Z
He
would be a
did
good
try.
name for a parenting podcast.
Also full of regret. I don't know. So many good names, many options. No, I love my kids. I love my kids. They're good.
It's good that you've alienated your
really good,
entire
yeah.
nuclear family.
Nothing now. Solo in LA.
Am I really on my own? This is so great. I thought about sabotaging my visa interview so that I couldn't go, but the kids could. And
What
so,
kind of things did they ask you?
where are you going to live?
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what I said? Don't know. They were like, approved. Damn it. Anyway,
Well, are you an alien of extraordinary ability because
No.
you're such a big podcaster?
no, Joel's an alien of extraordinary ability and I'm his spouse. And I can't work over there. What a shame. Anyway, things go badly between Heidi and Mike prior to the dinner. I can't remember what they fought about. They fought about something. We didn't see it.
Oh, they had that really tense fight with their parents.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
they were referring to a fight that they had like the night before or before they came to dinner. It was
I
about
hate
something
it.
dumb like
It's
how long you
bad.
cook rice for or something like that. And then, but then Mike's dad, new expert IMO,
Yeah.
comes in, saves the day, basically takes this festering Heidi and Mike mess and turns it into a lovely scab that heals.
a lovely
scab.
scam.
Here's the Band-Aid to their scab.
That's the real pod story.
What was his advice? What did he say to them? Was he just like, "This is what marriage is like"?
It's always hard. It's hard work. Look, I can't remember.
Tough a throw.
Can't really remember.
They're toast.
Yeah,
They call her this daughter-in-law. Like they want her to be their daughter-in-law. So
I get the feeling Mike's like an annoying son.
Mike's parents don't like him.
And the great thing, though, the best thing about this week really was that the experts finally clocked Mike for what he is, which is just amazingly bad experting that that took them this long. But just finally, I don't know if I like this side of Mike. It's like that's the only side.
Yeah.
He has one side. He's been showing you the whole time, and you've been blaming Heidi
Again,
for
they've
it.
been enamoured with the voice and they haven't heard the words. All they've heard is the dulcet tones and not the words that he's saying. Look, if you go back to not this week's commitment ceremony, but the one before where they had Heidi had done the when he'd said to Heidi, I think I'm going to try to love you. And we when we recapped that, we're all appalled at him for that. They went onto the couch and the experts were all on his side. Again, they were all on his side saying, oh, well, that's something, Heidi. You got to give him something. It's like, damn, I honestly couldn't believe it.
I think also, I know that you particularly, were you into John's rebranding, Expert John?
A little bit.
On Talking Married, I hate to bring it up one more time, they did like a comedy skit where like two of the hosts did like fake counselling with John, pretending to be like, oh, you need to resolve this. And I was just like, If you're actually a professional, whatever this is, therapist, psychologist, don't joke around.
Yeah,
this is serious stuff.
Okay, can I show you something?
It undermines his credibility.
I'm not sure if you saw my. Okay, look.
What are you going to show me?
Well, recently on my Instagram, I was going through. It's nothing to do with my Instagram. I don't know why I've said that, but I was going through a bunch of old memories and interviews and stuff that I'd done back in the day because I found all these magazines in storage that because we're clearing out. And I was showing them on Instagram. That's got nothing to do with anything, but that's why I brought up Instagram. Okay, I just want to show you this one thing that I found as I was going through the magazines. There's an interview. That's John.
Is that him? Is he in a bar?
Give me that.
Is that his name, John?
Can I unplug?
It looks like a hammock or something, isn't it?
There's like an interview with him being like the rock star, cool shrink guy.
Oh.
Way back in the day.
Oh, so
What a find.
He's been a celebrity shrink for some time.
He looks so old there.
He's wearing sunglasses inside.
Yeah, he's inside. He's like.
And he is in the bar.
Is kind of
that bath got water in it?
His hair is gelled up.
No, it's just for a cool
Morning
wearing
milk.
photo shoot
in
setting.
the bar.
And he was doing relationship seminars in Auckland, Wellington, and Christchurch.
Yeah, he was on tour.
Could have been us.
Oh, well, that explains
It
it.
was like
the real
2005.
What mag? Was that Pulp or something?
Something like
Pavement?
that,
It's
yeah.
not Pavement, is it?
No, I think it might have been like View or Sunday or something like that.
View?
Yeah.
That's a rare find.
Well, it's it's a newspaper.
Did you hold on to
Why
that?
didn't you put that in the corner?
Yeah.
For the museum.
I want to read it.
That's, well, I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, John sucks.
I
Anyway.
just am like so appalled at the way
Like
that
the
I
rebrand,
explained how
though.
I got to there. I just found this thing. Here it is.
Yeah.
No, you got there in the
I
end.
really.
Do you want to have another run at it and then we'll do an edit?
Cut it out.
It's all right. Can't be bothered. Okay. Mike puts on a hot eyeliner for the grand dinner party, and it made me think of Chris Harris at Dancing with the Stars. Remember when he did live
Yes, that was amazing.
Lightning Crashes,
Oh,
and he wore the dress cape situation and the eyeliner, and it was like his peak performance. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh, we look like a lovely Egyptian prince.
Who did?
Mike.
Okay. He didn't like that much because he smudged a bit, got in his eye.
That was really, I did enjoy a moment's levity with Heidi and Mike when he was sitting in the chair, just like, nobody eyes. His eyes were completely shut and he was like, it stings. So good.
And then he made some gag like, where are you? Are you there? Where are you still sitting there?
It's classic.
I sounded quite a lot like him then, didn't I?
you did.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then he goes in on behalf of Mark and has a go at Jess at the cocktail party
Oh, it was awful.
about the things that she's been saying to drive a wedge between Ning and Mark. And he just it was like a dog with a bone, would not let it go. I mean, Heidi does not like it when he gets involved in these things. She's
No.
made that plain. And he really got himself in there. And he called her sweetheart a lot, darling, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. It's really annoying.
And he said, stick to your knitting.
Stick to your knitting.
I just really dislike the way he says this girl. I really like this girl, and this girl's got a problem. He talks about that woman like they're a different species, and it's really instructive about his character, and it's just horrible the way that he continues to do it, and it's not kind of.
And everything about him, like he does it, he'll sit back, like his body language as well. It's just, I don't know. It's just very gaslighty, very, very gaslighty.
And his pants.
And his pants.
And it's tattooed on him. He's my. If I was inverse power ranking the contestants, he would be my bottom.
Yeah.
I think he's the worst guy on the
Okay,
show.
thank you. Words are powerful, darling. I don't think you realise that. It's not about Instagram and selfies and trout pout.
No, trout pout.
So awful.
That
And
was
he's
when
insulting
that
her
was the moment
intelligence.
that the experts were finally like, maybe Mike isn't such a good guy.
But he also said the thing about philosophy. He was like, you wouldn't understand.
yeah.
This is I'm talking about philosophy.
Doing that philosophy down.
My favourite toilet book.
Max lent me this really great text.
So I can only assume that Mike and Heidi are going to have another argument before the commitment ceremony about
Please
that.
just get them off the TV.
And a sub couple, Dan and Jessica. So their week basically was them meeting up for a passion at a bar, then going back to Jessica's apartment. They didn't do anything, It was just cameras with you the whole time. They
A
just
lot of
talked.
crotchy
They did a
rub
kiss,
though.
yeah.
You know, a lot of kissing, but there was no It's not like they closed the door on the cameras and
No, but there
emerged
was,
2 hours later.
there was a bit of
What are you
rubbing.
doing there? Look like
There was a bit of rubbing.
you're scratching a record. Do you want to just mute your computer there, Alex?
It's going to be 2:45.
What?
Chicken?
Why?
I've got a meeting.
What, you mean we have to podcast for another 45 minutes?
Oh my God. I don't even know how to find that message.
Hey, it's worth it.
Okay, so
Do you
Dan
have
is
your texts on your computer?
I get texts on my...
Don't do
do I.
that.
Well, I don't know how to stop it.
No,
Why?
that's
Why
the
is it
worst thing.
bad?
Because then they come up as red and you're...
No, it's great because I like writing a
And now I
reply
can
from my
reply on my
computer.
television to the lady.
And it's great. You can type really fast and they're really impressed with your quick typing skills. They think you're on your phone.
I hate that one.
Anyway,
I'm so hungry.
so these two have decided they want to talk to the experts about leaving their current partners, but they want to stay in the experiment together.
I love it.
I love it, and I
so
can't
good.
wait. It's made me
It's
so
a
like
hack.
I'm so excited about this
Yeah.
week's commitment
I
ceremony.
think we should try and do a group watch.
And Martha has recommended that Jess tell Tamara first, which is 100% not going to happen.
Nope.
So that's going to be great.
It's like, I mean, I know they're always bang on about the most explosive commitment ceremony yet, but this is actually one that does have a shot at
Yeah.
getting up there into the Dean, Tracy, Davina sort of territory.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and I like the way that Martha has very cleverly absolved herself of her complicity in the whole thing. Complicitness?
Martha.
Yeah, by
What do you mean?
No, by telling her to tell Tamara first, like giving the good advice, like follow your heart, but do the right thing, girl code, tell Tamara first. Which I just don't think Jess is going to do because I don't think the producers will let her because it would be so much better if she just lets loose in the commitment ceremony.
I can't wait. Did you
wait.
see the teaser for it?
Yeah, and
Teaser's
And like
crazy.
you see like the fake like wall, like the set and stuff. It's cool.
And the experts like have obviously left the couch and standing off together, going,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
in
It
this
doesn't sit well.
Doesn't sit well.
But
But will they do it?
God, I hope they do it.
Let's face it, we're...
But then it's going to be really boring because they're together now, and that's going to be boring.
No, I think they'll be funny together because Dan's like, I mean, actually, he's got a touch of the Billies. Like he's a little bit of a
touch of the
he's
Billies.
just a hapless dude.
He's so hapless.
But do you think so? That means if they let them back in, Tamara and Mick just go, like they just leave.
No, they have to couple
You
up
know what? They
too.
should couple up. That'd be so good.
That would be great if it was just free for all.
Yeah.
Yankee
I mean,
swap.
this is definitely, Heartbreak
Passion
Island
play.
been all over
Passion
this.
play.
Yeah.
And
Christiana Ruby came back.
What?
But we knew that.
On Heartbreak Island.
We knew that.
I
was
didn't know
happening.
that.
Wasn't it like something that was in the news or they teased?
What? They came back onto the island.
Onto the
But
island.
this year.
As disruptors.
What?
Crazy.
Disruptors is still my favourite term ever. Like they just couldn't use intruders because it's been done. So they just went to thesaurus.com, which is how Alex Casey writes all her best
It is,
material.
it is.
And found another good word.
Okay.
So is it worth watching? Are you still watching it?
No. I just watch for them to come in, but it's just silly. It's just silly now because they just bring in new people every episode. Like,
Really?
if someone's like, I had a fight with them, don't really like them, they just do the stray, or play or whatever. Bring in someone new.
Are they doing it just to burn everyone between the ages of 18 and 25 so that
so.
Love Island is going to be ruined?
Yeah, true. It's a good strategy.
Do Love Island with oldies.
I actually, I've long thought that doing more like super old reality
Yeah,
TV.
because these are the desperate people who have,
their last shot.
Their last shot.
Oh, no.
They make more
Okay,
allowances.
that's a show we're pitching. It's called The Last Shot. And it's basically either you make it work or you have to go to the rest home. But it's set in a rest home
Trademark,
or you go
registered
to the
trademark.
hospice.
And they're like fit and healthy, like 72-year-old. Do your deathbed.
Also,
John Bowden.
also
But in like Uncle Drew style old person makeup.
and if they get out, you know how like at the tribal council you put out your candle or whatever. What are those things called? The lamp torch. They have to go, and if they get out, they go, and they have to pick a funeral, like a burial plot.
I'm serious about this. This is getting real dark.
Like that's just their symbolic end of like I'm a die
Burial
alone.
plot.
A solo burial
and just
plot.
sit by it and wait to die? Is that the idea?
I mean, it needs workshopping for sure.
The last shot. Set in a rest home. It's so good.
Oh, no.
Copyright.
I'm
We'll do your
Register
disclaimer.
trademark copyright. Hexworks. 2019.
Don't tell anyone our real name.
Oh, no. Take it back. Nothing.
But imagine the emotions that you'd get caught. Like, you would be so emotionally charged watching the show.
Oh, it's so much. Also, like, randy old people they're a good time.
It's like Claire and Dom, right? They were
Oh, God.
ready for the grave.
Oh,
That was their
man.
last shot.
And what were the oldies on the TV watching show?
Gogglebox.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got a bit horny at
No one
times.
knows their names. Did you watch
oldies.
that show more than once?
Alex loved it.
I think I got kind of into it towards the end as they warmed up a bit.
Hey, I think we might have touched on. Did we touch on the fact that I'm watching Shortland Street again?
No.
So remember how there was the volcano, and I'd been the biggest Shortland Street fan for the longest time, and then I just, for some reason, we had that special moment where we went along to the screening of their, what was it, 150th
That was my episode.
anniversary.
Yeah, Alex is in it.
That's right.
I saw the volcano on the news.
Maybe that's what did it
Chris
for me.
Warner's house.
Anyway, I
The great
peaked.
face acting.
I peaked with Alex Casey on Shortland Street, and I couldn't watch again after that. I just dropped out. And then recently, I've not been on Instagram so much. I was like, well, all this time, I'm going to watch Shortland Street again. I went back about 12 episodes to catch up.
Yeah.
And now I'm back in. I'm looking forward to my fix every day.
What's going on?
Well, Kylie's a bloody psycho for a start.
Kylie.
Yeah.
Really? Like old
yeah.
Kylie from back in the day?
Yeah.
Blonde lady?
Yeah, Blondie. Blondie is Drew.
What's she up to?
I quite like Drew, by the way. Ben Barrington. I mean, we tore him to shreds when we recapped Dancing with the Stars way back when.
I've always hated him.
I quite
but
like
he's
him now.
Probably
I like
nice.
his character. Yeah, funny.
He looks like Mike.
He does.
Could be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he's
He also
just
looks
bald,
like
man.
He also
That's not
reminds
enough.
me of Brendan Green.
Yep.
Niche, but there you go.
okay.
So nice.
Brendan Green was on this podcast once.
He was.
He was. When it was,
Wow.
was
Dancing
the
with-
D floor?
That was the D floor.
Was that what it's called?
Because wasn't he the warm-up guy or something?
Yeah. Those are the days.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of our podcast.
Is it?
Almost.
Is it?
Just going to play you a wee tune. Oh, there's John Aitken in the bath. Hang on. Hold the line caller. Here we go.
Like and subscribe.
Max Key Corner. I know. I know. I'll never forget you.
Subscribe,
Wow.
subscribe.
I just heard something new in that for the first time.
What was it?
The real distorted. Let's take it to the max.
We literally
We
talked
talked
about
about
that.
No, but
2
there's
weeks
another
ago.
one. There's
Yeah.
a whispering take it to the max.
Yeah.
But then there's a
Distorted one at the end.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the first one. God, it's got layers. Poor Williams, eh?
I tried to get him to do our theme song. We still need like a new. The corner who complained about the bad music at the start. I can't remember who it was, but they're right. I agree with them. We've got to get it replaced. But I just keep banging. Paul invited me to do a March Madness bracket, and I said I can't. But can you do music? And it's no reply. Classic P. Willie.
I don't know. Is this him? Is this him? I'm just watching on Instagram. Is that him? It's quite a cool thing he's done, like a clever thing. He's DJing to a room doing YMCA, and then he's doing it to an empty room, and then it cuts to a full room,
Wow.
and it's like a cool little cut,
Yeah,
and then
I
there's all
like
the
that.
people that are
He's
doing
creative.
the YMCA. In them. Is it? I don't even know if it's him. But
Lovely
there you
little
go.
vid.
That's the latest on Max Key. Just wanted to play the song. Any requests for other stings we haven't heard for a while? No.
Cranny?
Oh,
Come on.
Vain.
Come on. Colin's Granny. Colin's Granny. Colin's Granny. Granny. Colin's Granny.
Oh, no.
Did you hear that cool noise?
Yeah. That was
I'd never heard
Foley
that
as hell.
before.
I know, that was like a whole new thing that
I
just happened.
nearly knocked over my water and it made a cool noise.
Is that a new watch, by the way?
It's an Apple Watch. I've lost. My child has taken my other watch,
Your Fitbit.
my round watch, as she likes to call it, and I don't know where she put it.
Oh.
So I've got to wear this one. It makes you think I'm sporty, right?
No, it makes me think you're high tech.
But also, this is either activity rings. That's what shows you how sporty I am. Not very.
It's like barely a blip.
Just going to quickly check, because I know people will be wondering if we are still blocked by Kate Hawkesby on Instagram. And yes, we are.
We're just never going to go, lovely day. Time to wake up and unblock the real pod.
I believe. Duncan, you were going to get in there, weren't you, and play nice and try and get her to unblock us?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Because I can't, because she's blocked me too.
Yeah, but
No
How do I
access.
Just
no
your-
access?
Stuart Salmon Lund.
I,
We need you to send a message.
I was interviewed by Stuart Salmon Lund today. Shout out to Stuart Salmon Lund.
Shout out.
he liked a tweet of mine yesterday.
Wow.
So same.
Big week.
I replied to his Instagram story yesterday.
There we go.
Did you do that a lot?
We've all had interactions.
Oh, every now and then. Yeah. Why?
I'm just curious about what the culture's like.
Anyway, that's our podcast. I was going to try and fill out the full 45 minutes till Nando's arrives, but it's too much of an ask. So I guess we'll just see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening and watching. Thanks for watching our cool Instagram. And thanks, Tina, for recording.
How long, Tina?
Thanks, Nando's.
Oh,
This is the shortest.
Crack the hour.
Can't wait till you arrive, Nando's.
Shortest podcast we've ever done.
I'm really excited about Nando.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Just lost it, eh? Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spinoff. You can help us keep all of The Spinoff's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
The Spinoff Podcast Network.